Swole Benji here. Today we are going to talk about the problems with Lost Ark, what's going on, if there's anything being done about it. Let's just get right into it. Everything that's wrong currently with the game, if the game will even survive, if it's gonna last, let's talk about it. Alright, the very first problem is bots. This game is absolutely swarmed with bots, and I'm gonna tell you why bots are not just a problem because they're, if you look in the chat box, they're completely just spamming gibberish. They're spamming gold buying websites. There are entire swarms of hundreds of thousands of bots in the newbie zones. So anyone that might want to pick up this game and start playing for the first time who may not have friends to play with, their only company is bots. Bots that speed hack, they like attack faster hack, they walk through walls, they teleport. It's insanity. I have never ever seen a game in my entire life that has been so heavily botted, so badly, with literally no protections against it than this game. This game, its biggest problem is the bots. Now, let me tell you why the bots are, like, okay, so a lot of people think that a very large amount of people play this game. When you go onto Steam and you see the player count, it's in the hundreds of thousands. I don't know when you'll be watching this video and what the player count will be, but this game launched with over 1 million players, okay? And it's currently sitting at anywhere from 200 to 400,000 players, which sounds like a really good, hefty amount. However, 90% of those are bots, and I have proof that 90% of the population are bots, okay? So when you make a character, bots primarily play Berserker and Sorceress. They sometimes play Bard for whatever reason, but most of them are Sorceresses and Berserkers by a large margin. Now, whenever you make a character and say you pick a Berserker, in the very first menu when you make your character, you will be greeted with a little statistic that tells you how many of the current player base are playing that specific character, so not just like Warrior, but Berserker in general. And right now, if you go to any server and make a Berserker, it will tell you that 90% of the player base is a Berserker, okay? And so what that means, people are already quitting the dungeon. So what that means is that in reality, in Korea and in Russia, the player counts for Berserkers are somewhere like 3.6 to 3.9%. Okay, so to be generous, we are going to round that number up to 5%. So we're going to say that on the US North American realms, that the player count for Berserkers is 5%, and that is being generous, very generous, that 5% of people playing A-class are Berserkers. So, because the game tells us 90% are playing Berserker, that means that 85% of all Berserkers are bots. So what about Sorceress, okay? So Sorceress is played by a little bit more in Korea and Russia. It's somewhere like, it's like 4.6, 4.9. It's up there, okay? And so what that means is we're going to be generous again and say that also 5% of people in North America are playing Sorceress. So if 90% of the player base is Berserker and technically 10% being Sorceress, even though it's really like 9.99% because of all the bots, and we minus another 5%, that means that around 90% of the players are bots. So if you take 200,000 people and you just take off 90%, you're left with what, like 20,000, 2,000? You're left with a very small player count of actual real people. Now, the bots have already ruined the market many, many times over. The bots are able to farm infinite chaos dungeons. They're able to farm endless reports. They are able to farm Una dailies. They are absolutely able to farm every single thing possible in this game. 24/7, 365. The bots that I have actually looked into, you could run 8 copies of the game with one like computer session, and they have a way to like run multiple sessions on a computer. So technically, one really beastly computer can run like 24 versions of this game, and it's insane. That's why there are so many bots. It's a free-to-play game with no checks, no balances, or anything. All right. So what that means is that you're completely outclassed by bot swarms. There's like, I'm running into the same people over and over and over in these dungeons, and you know, they just try to in the dungeon because I'm literally AFK, not doing anything with my gear off. But the point is, bots are killing the game. Number 2 is lazy gamers, and I have an entire video out tomorrow on April 1st all about this one. So I'm going to try to make this one a little bit quicker because I covered a lot more tomorrow. But lazy gamers who think that just because they have a tier 3 character, or oh, it's just tier 2 content, that they can just join raids with absolutely bonkers clown world characters like this. Why would a gunslinger need domination, endurance, or expertise? Is completely beyond me. But every single raid, every single pub, abyssal dungeon that you run, people will have the wrong engravings, they might not have any card setups, they might have completely wrong stats on their characters, and then they try to blame you for them wiping the group, okay? So, lazy gamers, it's kind of a product of just the random queue system, but really, if they put a little bit more work into making the queue system do a quick gear check to make sure that you have the right engravings and the right stats for your character before you're even allowed to party up with other people, that would be a quick and easy fix, but it's never going to happen. Now, see, in Korea and in Russia, people actually like to come together and work as a team, and they're actually very careful of how they perceive other people, so they are totally into the try-hard state of, you know, contributing to the group, whereas in the Western audience, they're all out for themselves, they're greedy, they don't care, they're never gonna ever do anything for anyone else. They're just gonna put on their random jib-jab, shmib-shmab gear and hope that no one ever inspects them. So lazy gamers is number 2. Number 3 is honing. Now, this could be a blessing if you are an RNG blessed, super lucky person. Now, let me tell you about honing, okay? You have a percentage chance to take materials that will take you an entire week of farming to get. And you take that honing chance, and if it fails, you get no gear upgrades, which means you can't advance the story, you can't experience the endgame. In video games like Diablo 2 or Path of Exile, I can technically go to the last bosses of the game with crappy gear, and if other people want to carry me, that's fine, or you can kind of wing it and still beat the really tough, hard monsters. But in this game, you're not even allowed to attempt it without your gears score being an absolute certain type of number. But to even do that, it's basically like a percentage chance roll. So, like, the thing with honing is that it's kind of not luck-based, it's more like seed luck-based, okay? Let me tell you how I have a 90% chance to upgrade my gear, and somehow I fail that 6 times in one day. So when you fail, it does increase the percent chance. So that will increase to 99%, right? Which in my case it did. And then that 99% failed 3 times. This is in one day. So basically, I worked very hard for an entire week gathering materials and spending all of my playtime getting these materials to upgrade my gear. And because I had incredibly bad luck, which, think about the math for a second. 90% chance to succeed and I fail 5 or 6 times, and then 99% chance to succeed and I failed 3 times. You have to be really unlucky to hit those kinds of numbers, right? Now, let me tell you about my actual real-life luck. I have never come home from a casino worse off, except for maybe one time on a cruise ship when I had to go play poker against a Google engineer. He got really lucky, and I got a bad beat. So, but besides that, my entire life of going to casinos, I have always come out ahead. So I am considered a lucky person in real life. I have dodged death in real life more than 10 times. I am considered a lucky guy. I have a girlfriend. I'm the luckiest guy ever, okay? So, for me to play this game and do like a luck-based activity and fail that many times is incredibly painful. And I have went around and asked many, not only popular streamers to see if they have like a blessed account, but I have talked to RMTers, I have talked to people free-to-play, because I'm a free-to-play player. I have talked to people who have spent lots of money on the game, whales, and it seems that people that have spent real money on the game or that have Platinum Founders Packs have an irregularly odd amount of better luck than those that are free-to-play. Alright, so I think there's something going on deep within the honing system. I'm sure that it's particularly safeguarded, but it's very odd. The odds and the numbers don't match what they're saying. I think that the odds are just there to legally allow you to play the game in certain countries. So there's something fishy about it, and I don't believe that the percentages of success show what your actual honing chances are that there's some deeper, more sinister thing going on, but I have no proof of this. But honing is the #1 complaint that most hardcore gamers, streamers, Twitch, YouTubers, etc. all have. I think it's #3 on my list, but it is still a huge complaint, and so many people have quit the game over this, and I am at my wit's end, and I am probably about to bail as well because of this reason. #4 is massive time sink. Now, it's weird for someone like me who has no job, who barely sleeps 4 to 5 hours a day, who has no family, friends, or real life obligations, no job, no college, no nothing. Just pure sleep, eat, gym, video games, take a dump. That's all I do with my life. And even I believe that this game it sucks way too much time out of one's life. It is a time vampire. It is a time super vampire, like a time Dracula or something, like a dire wolf, a time dire Dracula vampire. The point is that, let me tell you, I have 6 characters, because free to play, that's all you're allowed. You have to pay real money for 7 or more. With 6 characters to do 2 Chaos Dungeons, 2 Guardian Raids, to do all the Una dailies without skipping them with the Una tickets, then to work on reports, to work on all of that kind of stuff. It takes 6 hours a day. That is just your chores. That's like cleaning your room, do the laundry, do the dishes, and so on. That is a 6-hour time investment, and that is speedrunning it. That is try-harding as much as possible to get it done. And oh my goodness, it is every single day. And yes, I know you can let your rest experience build up, but that's not as efficient. If you want to free to play, if you want to play this hardcore mode, then not only that, but you have to make time and schedule and set alarms, which as a NEET with no job, I hate alarms. I don't like to set alarms to be able to do in-game events. Let me show you. I'm going to close this while I queue up. But, like, if I want to do the Arkesia Grand Prix, or Prix if you read it like I do, I know it's pronounced Prix, I'm going to call it Prix. I have that going on in 3 minutes from now, so I have to drop what I'm doing, which is trolling Abyssal Dungeons, to do that. Now, if I wanted to get the rewards from Tuki Island, that's in 53 minutes. I can't go do it now. What if I get hungry in 53 minutes? What if there's a new episode of an anime that I'm watching in 53 minutes? What if I want to go out to eat or something in 53 minutes? Well, too bad. I don't get to do Tuki Island, okay? I'll have to wait until the next time that it comes around, okay? Then you have scheduled events like Ghost Ship, okay? There is no Ghost Ship. I haven't done it this week. The last day for me to do it this week is technically tomorrow as I'm recording this. And I'm going to be very busy doing, I know I just said I have all of free time, I'm going to be busy moving tomorrow, so I don't get to do Ghost Ship. I just miss it this week, okay? Now, imagine if you had a job, imagine if you had a wife and children, or had to go to school, or you had to sleep more than 4 to 5 hours a day. Imagine if you had other life obligations out there. If you're lonely and you have to wander Walmart at 3 in the morning hoping to find a goth GF at IHOP or something. You don't have time to play this game, okay? Field bosses, they only come around every once in a while. Let's see, today, it's not, like, there's none today. Apparently there's none today. I'm on the 21st. It says the 22nd is when they show up. So that's out. I don't even get to do that tomorrow either. What about Chaos Gates? When do those come around? Okay, there's some today. Check it out. Let's see. Look at these numbers. This is blowing my brain away. Okay, it says every 2 hours. Let's scroll over here and see when it starts. Okay, so I get to do this, it says in 3 minutes. Alright, well, I don't want to do it in 3 minutes. Because I don't want to do it in 3 minutes. I have to wait 2 hours after that. Well, 2 hours I'm probably going to be asleep or eating Subway or something. I don't know. But the point is, this game just eats away your time. And check this out. There are things that only happen in the evening. So if you work 40 to 60 hours a week at your wagey job, and you work mid-shift, you never, ever, ever get to do these little sailing missions that happen in 10 hours. I'm not going to be awake for that. Maybe I will. I don't know, but I definitely don't want to have to set an alarm for 6 p.m. server time. Fuck that. Screw that. Like, most people are stuck in traffic at that hour, going out to dinner, okay? This game, it just eats your time up, and it's not worth, like, the piddly little rewards you get only to fail your honing. It's stupid. Number 5, PvP is like a fighting game, like a fighter game, like Tekken or Street Fighter or something like that, okay? I'd say more so like Tekken than Street Fighter, but it's like a fighting game. Okay, let me explain PvP. Basically, most PvP that you queue up for, like from the Proving Grounds, is balanced because everyone has the same similar stats and skill points. The only non-balanced PvP in the game is the guild versus guild stuff, or if you go to certain PvP flagged islands, where you basically one-shot anyone you touch with certain abilities after tier 2. Doesn't matter if they're tier 3 or not, you still one-shot them anyway because you deal millions of damage. Alright, and you know, that's somewhat okay. It's kind of like what Diablo 2 PvP was like, sort of. But the point is that PvP acts like a fighting game in the regards that it's all about chain CC, which is crowd control for those that don't know. It's all about peeling your allies off, or your opponents away from your allies if they're starting to combo. It's all about juggles and comboing and waiting on cooldowns. It's not nearly as engaging or fun as like World of Warcraft. It's not nearly as good as many other MMORPGs out there. It's not nearly as good, fast-paced, or satisfying as Diablo. It's just not good. It is clunky and weird, and it's like, okay, well, I can't fight him until I hit him with my combo, and then your opponent's like, he's gonna try to hit me with this combo, and if he doesn't, then I can just combo him or whatever. There is no counterplay, unlike a fighting game where you can outmaneuver, juggle, or do some just frame antics. I used to be a fighting game pro gamer, by the way, back in the day. Went to EVO and everything, but the point is that it wants to be like a fighting game, and it's not. It just doesn't work. It sucks. I don't know. It's blech. Number 6, it ended up launching near the release of Elden Ring, and I didn't really see this one coming, but Elden Ring destroyed and stole the entire audience away from Amazon Games. It stole it away from Lost Ark. Everyone that could potentially be playing Lost Ark all just decided to go play Elden Ring instead. Over 40 million more searches a month for Elden Ring than Lost Ark, almost doubled the player count, the real player count at the start, and then if you factor in bots, it's like 900% more gamers actually playing the game. Now, I will begin to make Elden Ring content in April, probably April 2nd is when I want to start, and I just want to say that a lad named Nickerson donated me the game through the comment section. This was 2 weeks ago as I'm filming this, and it's going to be like 3 or 4 weeks before maybe he sees this. I am so sorry I haven't gotten started on playing Elden Ring. I really want to apologize, but dude, if I ever make it big on YouTube, I am going to pay all of my donators and supporters back double, okay, that ended up supporting me before I hit 100,000 subs, okay? So with that said, I want to transition into a quick little ad. If you want to become a channel member, hit that join button right below this video. It's $5 a month. I will really appreciate you eternally, forever, if you help me out. And there's donation links in the description and the pinned comment that you can also financially support me if you would like to. Let's get back to griping about Lost Ark. Number 7, the game is just too darned samey, okay? Every single day, you do the same things, you do the same activities, and you could say, well, you could spice it up by going to different islands, doing Una dailies, but the thing is with the islands, once you exhaust their rewards, you have no reason to ever go back unless you really find it fun to, like, smash slimes with a mullet, or do a little mini game with some beer barrels and you put them in a pile or something, even though you would get nothing for doing it. There's just no reason to, like, go do it, okay? Like, okay, in World of Warcraft, you had a reason for doing the same content for drops, rewards, potion materials, rare drops that you would use later on. This game doesn't really have that. You have your gathering stuff that you do, and then you could craft things, which is kind of fine, but essentially, once you do all the island activities and get those rewards, they're done. Once you do all your Una daily reputations, the only time you would do any Una dailies is for the rewards, which in the in-game is just using your Bifrost warps, which is a way to teleport instantly around the world every 2 hours, to get a bunch of silver, which is a non-tradable currency used for honing. Yep, honing rears its ugly head in on number 7 as well. But essentially, the game is just the same crap all day, every day, week after week. Yeah, they'll release new continents, they'll release new quest lines, they'll release new Guardian Raid bosses, but guess what? I'm going to transition to number 8 now. Number 8, raids are suffering. This is what I'm going to talk about. This is one of my least favorite things about this entire game, is that when you do these raids, which is what I'm doing right now, these abyssal dungeons, abyssal raids, whatever you want to call them, these big boss monsters, they have what's called a one-shot mechanic. And what this means is that like the big bad dragon or the spooky necromancer or whatever is going to do this big charge attack that's like a little mini puzzle, okay? And if you've ever played World of Warcraft, if you've ever raided with complete idiots, you're going to feel this pain. Like, World of Warcraft raids are incredibly forgiving compared to this game, because if you fail the one-shot mechanic, everyone dies. And what this means is that everyone has to participate and put forth effort, and if you ask other people to participate, I don't know about you, I know in Korea, like, everyone's really good at the game, and in Russia, everyone's very unified, but in the West, everyone is drunk, high, talking to their friends in Discord, distracted by televisions, watching, you know, whatever the heck on their second monitors. Maybe they're watching YouTube while killing their party in raids. I don't know what they're doing, but most people are distracted. Western gamers are generally not good at video games, and they never have been. And also, it's just so painful that you go into these dungeons, and then you fight a boss, you work your way to the boss, and then they do this stupid thing where they teleport to the middle of the room, and they shoot out these little glowing white orbs, and you have to collect 3 orbs without touching a red orb, which gives you an aura, and then you have to use that aura to touch the red orbs, and if like 5 red orbs reach the middle, everyone dies. So what you not only have to do is make sure that you're doing the raid mechanic flawlessly every time, that all your entire party members are doing it. There are 4-man and 8-man raids, and oh man, it just gets worse and worse and worse, okay? The dungeons are so painful, okay? If you don't have a solid group of friends that are, like, awake and active and not high and not drunk, yeah, you'll have a good time, okay? Assuming they know how to play the game. But if you play with random pugs, which friendless people that are socially inept like me, apparently, cannot make friends in anything we ever do ever, we're stuck playing with people like Kylie and Lamb Jimbo and Watt and Dark Shadows Uwu Walla Woo and Yui's Lol and Escape Box. You know, like this Escape Box person, how good are they geared in endurance and domination and engraving? Level 1 fortitude, oh boy! Man, I'm gonna have to make up for that, aren't I? I know I already complained about that. I even have a video tomorrow that goes way deeper into that subject, but the point is that raids are absolute gruesome suffering, pain. They are the worst thing. Oh man, it's so hard. It's so harsh, man. The one-shot mechanics, they just kill your entire group because, like later on, this is not even released yet in the North America Western version. There is this succubus that makes you do a typing test. And if you type one letter wrong or don't type it fast enough because she's like shaking her hot, seductive body in front of you and making little cutesy moan noises, you know, if anyone's a Coomer in your group, you are screwed because they're gonna be like, ooh, pretty pixel lady, and they're not gonna do the typing test that they're supposed to do, and then they're going to wipe the group, and you have to start the fight completely over, pay those expensive repair fees, and like World of Warcraft, yeah, it had like the berserk mechanic. Well, that's in this game too. If you don't kill the boss in like 7 minutes, the berserk mechanic makes the boss just spam AoE abilities to kill everyone. Also, maybe you're super geared, and the boss berserks anyway. Well, guess what berserk does after 1 minute? It fully heals the boss, I think, or maybe it just semi-heals the boss. I forget, but it does heal the boss a significant amount that you can't out-DPS, and then you're dead anyway, and it's a huge waste of time. Also, all one guy has to do in these raids is say some negative comment and then click this quit dungeon button, and then everyone agrees when they've spent 40 minutes learning the mechanic, and then they're gone. And another gripe too is that I'm playing on a United States East server. US East, United States, US East server. Okay, that also kind of includes Canada, maybe parts of Mexico, sure, whatever, I'm fine with it. I don't really care too much about it, but the vast majority of people in these pug raids do not speak English, they cannot communicate with me, and no matter how much you try to tell them how to do something or explain the mechanic or, you know, anything, they do not learn, they do not respond, they just zug it into the raid room, don't collect the golden orbs to prevent the raid wipe, don't type in the typing test, and they just die, and then when you think they finally figured it out, they give up, and then you have to start the entire dungeon over again, and like a dungeon that should only take 5 to 10 minutes because it's a queue thing, it's very small, ends up taking you hours and hours and hours of your day every single week. And if you don't run these dungeons, you don't get anything really good or honest, or you don't get honing materials, you don't get honing upgrade chance books. There's so many things that you miss out on if you don't do this. So it puts a huge power gap between people that have the power of friendship versus people like me who have the power and scorn of 4chan, being socially awkward and having no friends. You know, and people like me, when that happens, it's like New World all over again. I don't have a bunch of friends to play with. Why am I even wasting my time in this game? I might as well just play something that's more solo-friendly like Elden Ring. By the way, Elden Ring video's coming out in a few days. Check them out. Guys, let's move on to number 9. Number 9, C gamers can't play. Now, C gamers, for those that don't know, that is like India, Singapore, Indonesia, those kinds of parts of the world. They are completely blocked from playing this game. I think also there's parts of Europe that don't allow the game because of loot boxes, but I don't have too much info on that at the moment. But my big gripe about it is you take all of India, which are great, awesome people, Indonesia, all those awesome countries, love them so much. They aren't allowed to play, and guess who the majority of my audience is, right? It's them. So I'm literally playing a game that they can't be part of and that I can't play with them. So they're still stuck playing games like Albion Online and other little cell phone games, I guess, which it's painful, you know, that they can't experience this game. But at the same time, you know, they're kind of having their time saved, and they're kind of lucky in a way when you think about it, right? Because they're not having to suffer through these abyssal dungeons, having people with the wrong gear sets on. But man, what a blunder! If you make a video game and you just take one of the largest, most populated countries combined in the world, like, and you just say, nah, you can't play. Sorry guys, haha, can't play your game, me. Right? That's really messed up. That's absolutely asinine. It's crazy. It's stupid. Why would you do that? And finally, number 10, Amazon Game Studios is the publisher. Okay, they didn't make the game. They just kind of own the rights to ruin it, okay? Amazon Game Studios ruins every single game they touch. And the reason for it that I have investigated is because their upper management runs everything like a complete hellhole. Alright, there are very passionate, very talented developers, game developers, etc. They could really fix games like New World, right, and also do really well for the Western release of Lost Ark, but because of upper management's micromanaging and stress and just ineptitude and do it my way or you're fired kind of management style, this game will never succeed. No game that Amazon Game Studios makes will ever succeed. Everything they make dies incredibly fast, okay? Sure, this game had a huge player push because of Twitch, because Amazon owns Twitch, but after that initial push, the player numbers are plummeting in record rates. It's, you know, I enjoy the game. I think that Lost Ark is a beautifully master-made game with a lot of passion and a lot of soul, and Smilegate did an amazing job. But you gave the keys to Amazon. You gave like a lot of these Korean MMOs get ruined by horrendous publishers in the West, okay? If you were around for Arcade, that game got absolutely ruined by greedy publisher. Oh my god, man, it's so bad. And Amazon has not been doing this game any favors. Amazon has been banning wrong players that played the game too long or that moved their characters too fast because of some auto detection. Amazon is letting bots ravage the entire game. Most of this stuff is Amazon's fault. They are the caretakers of the game, and they don't care at all. It's like a soulless entity has this very soulful, art-styled, amazing, epic game, and they just don't care. And you know, you can only play a game like this so long and support it so much until you just realize that they don't support you back. They don't feel the same way back. It's just a soulless corporate company, not a passionate company that I don't want to keep going. I'm getting really sad now just talking about it, man. But guys, I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Now, I have one more Lost Ark video coming out tomorrow on April 1st, and after that, we are switching to Elden Ring because I'm gonna be honest, guys. This game has not been getting me the views that I need to survive. Okay. Alright, I know some people are like, just go get a job. I am not capable of working a job that pays a livable wage. I have went over this in many of my subscriber special videos. I basically have to do YouTube or I die, and this game will not be able to sustain me, unfortunately. Some channels do amazingly well because the algorithm is weird, or their channel is purely dedicated to it, or whatever. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but as far as search engines go, this game is not being searched barely at all. If you check Google Trends, the searches are way down. This game it's just not working out, man. It's just not working out, and I am getting bored of it. I'm getting frustrated with it. I don't have friends to play with. Half my audience can't even play the game that watches me. I am sorry, guys, but Elden Ring is soon, April 2nd and onward, Elden Ring, and then I don't know what I'll play after that, okay, guys? But again, if you want to support me, please become a channel member. Please like the video. It really helps. Please subscribe. Maybe I'll make, maybe things get better. Let's say Amazon Game Studios fixes their act. They get rid of all the bad actors, you know, and things are getting peachy. The world goes back to being peaceful, and the economy recovers, and all that fun stuff. And yeah, right. Let's be real. That's not going to happen. But if it did happen, then of course I can start covering this game more, because I really do enjoy playing this game. I find it a fun game. I think it's very soulful. I do like this game, but it does not have enough players, real players, not bots. So I have to move on. I'm sorry. Okay, guys, please come back tomorrow for the April 1st video. You'll like it. I think it's a funny one. It's pretty good. If you know, we always do something special on that day. And look forward to the Elden Ring videos. And also, random shout out to Video Game Databank known as Kibbles. He's got amazing Elden Ring content. So go there if you like Elden Ring, and then come back to me one day, and maybe I'll have some cool stuff too. Anyway, guys, see you tomorrow. Take care.